Supplemental nursing systems are a great option for feeding your baby at the breast when they are maybe not able to draw out all of the milk from your breast for an entire feed. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about how supplemental nursing systems work and how you can use one of the traditional options that are out there. My name is Katie Clark, and I am an international board certified lactation consultant. I help families all around the world find ways to make breastfeeding work for them, and that looks different for every family. For some families, supplementing is necessary and they prefer to use a bottle, but for other families, they would prefer to have the baby at the breast for as much of the feed as possible. This is a situation where a supplemental nursing system can be a great option. I feel like SNSs can get a bad rap sometimes. People think that they're cumbersome, they're difficult to use, and they're not worth the hassle. And in some situations, that's true. However, I think it can be an awesome option for some families, and once you get the hang of it, it's not that difficult to use. There's a lot of different options out there when it comes to supplemental nursing systems. This is a homemade version that you can use, that you can make with just like a little bottle, a cap, and then a feeding tube that has a cap on it as well. You can use a little syringe like this as well. And then there are options that have a little bottle with a cap and then the medical tubing like this. There's pros and cons to using all of these. With these options, you are obviously going to be using a smaller amount of your supplement, and this is going to be better for larger feeds. I'm going to show you how to use this one first. I got this one on Amazon. I'll give you a couple different options in the description for the video. When you first get it though, I do recommend obviously following the instructions to boil it and sanitize it. But then I would also recommend using water instead of your breast milk first, your breast milk or your formula, just to make sure that you understand how to use it and so you don't have unnecessary waste. So I'm just going to pour some water in here and just fill it up to the capacity or however much your baby is going to be feeding. With supplemental nursing systems, some babies will just need a little bit of a small supplement while other babies will take an entire feed. Once you have the supplement in there, carefully screw the lid on. Again, we don't want any waste, any spillage. I know how frustrating that can be when you lose milk. So you can turn it around, make sure that there's nothing coming out. With this particular model, you can put it around your neck, which I think is definitely convenient. There's no reason for you to have to be holding the bottle because that's just more difficult, especially when you have a little baby that is moving around as well. Where the bottle is in relation to your breast is also important. The higher up that the bottle is, the faster the flow is going to be. So if your baby is really struggling to get any milk, they're really resistant to be at the breast, you may want it to be a little higher. However, for a baby that is able to suckle at the breast and you're just trying to increase how much milk they're getting, you're going to want to have it a little bit closer to in between your breasts. You also want to make sure that you're holding the tubes up like this before you put them into your baby's mouth. Otherwise, it's going to start to drip out before your baby starts to eat. With this one, there are 2 tubes. So some people that have twins will use these. It can be more difficult to see how much your baby is eating if you're having twins eating it from at the same time. If you're only going to use 1 tube, definitely just like kind of tie it up here so it doesn't drip out. There's a variety of different ways that you can use a supplemental nursing system with your baby. Some people will try and attach it or tape it right here right next to their nipple. So just kind of flush with that if you can. So you would kind of have it just like right, kind of coming up right with the nipple if you can. And then they will tape it with some kind of medical grade tape. You want to make sure that it's nowhere near where your baby is going to be feeding so it doesn't go in their mouth, which can make feeding with this more difficult. So a lot of people will tape that. Whether you do it before or after that's your baby is up to you. So sometimes moms will do that where they just kind of put the tube right next to their nipple. Others will try and latch their baby first and then insert the tube into the corner of the baby's mouth. Either way, you're going to want to get at least this much tubing into the baby's mouth. This tube from the lactation hub actually has 2 holes, and so you want to make sure that you get at least past those 2 holes into the baby's mouth, but a little further is going to be ideal, probably actually a little bit close. So this is both of them. So that's about 1 inch or so, just into the corner of the baby's mouth. Some moms prefer to have their baby already actively sucking before they put the tubing into the baby's mouth. Like I said, the further down that it is, the slower the flow is going to be. Some people prefer to use the syringe just because you can control it a little bit more. You can push it in, plunge in the milk if you want to feed it that way, or you can kind of just hold the milk back at a different angle, so kind of like more horizontal, to encourage the baby to actually suck more milk out. These do take practice and they can be a little bit overwhelming at first. So if you are getting overwhelmed or frustrated, definitely take a break and then possibly work with a lactation consultant who can help you figure out what's going to be the best way you can use this with your baby. Some moms will even combine this with a nipple shield, which will be a video for another time. One of the things I like about the supplemental nursing system is that it is delivering the supplement, whether you're using breast milk, formula, donor milk, in a way where your baby is still at the breast. And for some moms, it is really important to have that bonding experience at the breast. It also encourages the baby to suckle more, and if they are struggling with a slow letdown and they are a baby that's maybe refusing because of the bottle, this can give them kind of an instant milk while they're trying to wait for a letdown. Either way, it's going to be stimulating the breast, so you can often eliminate that extra step in triple feeding where you are having to pump just because the baby is going to be at the breast more often. Again, this isn't an option for everyone, but it's something that I wish more people knew about, because I do think it is a great way to feed a supplemental feed to your baby while still having them feed at the breast if that's what you choose. If you have any questions, be sure to comment below and hit the subscribe button for more breastfeeding videos. I would love to help you in any way with your breastfeeding journey, and I offer Fuss Free First Year, which is an online resource with tons of videos and community support to help you through every stage of breastfeeding, no matter how that looks for you.